Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're jumping right into something truly fascinating. We're looking at a profound reflection by Father Joel Jamaris Gaddis. The whole idea centers around the metaphorical journey of a seed. More specifically, how we can totally flip our perspective on the painful, messy parts of life. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by adversity, and let's be real, who hasn't, and you're wondering what the point of it all is, you are in the right place. We're going to uncover exactly how personal growth overcomes adversity.
Let's kick things off with a massive question that the source material tackles right out of the gate. Why doesn't God just remove all the bad in the world? Man, that is a heavy one, isn't it? We all know that bone-deep exhaustion you get when you're surrounded by toxic situations, difficult people, or just the sheer weight of the daily grind. It's totally human nature to just want all that bad instantly wiped away so we can finally catch our breath, right?
But the source answers this with a striking realization drawn straight from the parable of the wheats. Get this. If all the bad is removed, you might be pulled up too. No way, right? What an incredible thought. The material explains that life, and honestly every single one of us, is this complex, messy mix of light and dark. We aren't purely perfect. Uprooting everything that's flawed in the world, well, that might just uproot the good parts of us too. So that brings us to our first main point. Good and bad are mixed. It's just a reality of life. And the source illustrates this beautifully with a surprisingly funny story. Okay, so the speaker tells this comedic anecdote where God sends the angel Gabriel down to earth to count all the bad people. Gabriel starts counting, but he gets completely exhausted just hitting the province of Pampanga alone. There are just way too many flawed people. So God tells him, okay, that's too hard. Just count the purely good people and give them a special letter. Then the speaker playfully looks at his audience and asks, did any of you receive your letter? And when the room goes dead silent, boom, point perfectly made. It's such a funny, relatable way to show that literally no one is purely good. We all have flaws, and you know what? That's just the human condition. Moving right along to Section 2, the danger of judgment. Because forgetting our own flaws leads us straight into the first major obstacle of our personal growth, which is judging the weeds around us. The speaker shares this story where he noticed a guy sitting at the front of a gathering. His initial knee-jerk judgment: the guy was absolutely covered in tattoos, looked like a thug, and honestly made him feel a bit uncomfortable. But guess what? After the event, that exact same man walked up to him holding a Bible and a massive study guide. Turns out he was deeply devoted to studying the Word. It is the perfect reminder that we are so quick to judge purely on the surface. And when we do that, we completely miss the deep, hidden potential for growth in other people. And here is the absolute crucial point the source makes about this toxic cycle. When you judge, you begin to hate. When you hate, you become angry. And ultimately, you are the one who suffers. Judging others doesn't fix them. It doesn't magically make them better. All it really does is drain your own peace, rob you of your happiness, and totally stunt your personal growth. It's a vicious cycle, and we have to actively choose to step out of it. Which leads us to Section 3. What is the dirt for? If we shouldn't waste our time judging the messy, dirty parts of the world, what on earth should we actually do with them? Well, the source deeply empathizes with folks going through severe, life-altering struggles. One person shared this heartbreaking thought: Father, I am deep in debt. I feel like I am being buried by my problems. Maybe you're watching this explainer right now and you're feeling that exact same way. Whether you're drowning in financial debt, battling a serious sickness, or even just dealing with really toxic coworkers, it is so easy to feel like the dirt of life is literally suffocating you, and you just want to throw in the towel. But here is where we need a massive mindset shift. Think about the stark difference between being buried and being planted. When a corpse is buried, the intent is for it to rot. The darkness is the end, and the result is death. But when a seed is planted, the whole intent is to grow. The darkness is just a beginning, and the result is new life. You have to realize that when you feel surrounded by the dirt of life, you are not being buried. You are being planted. Let's just look at the pure biology of it. Seeds simply do not grow on pristine marble tables. They don't sprout on shiny, clean cement floors. What do they actually need to survive and thrive? They need dirty soil. They need mud, they need germs, harsh rain, and complete, total darkness. The source material argues that just as a seed requires a really harsh, dirty environment to break open and sprout, human character requires adversity to develop. Those painful things you are going through, they're the exact nutrients you need to grow your resilience. All right, Section 4, grow amidst hardship. Knowing all of this, how do we actively use our hardships instead of just passively crying about them? The source beautifully contrasts two approaches to pain. One is simply going through life, just surviving the storm, letting the pain hit you, and basically just waiting for it to end. The other, growing through life. And this is exactly how personal growth overcomes adversity, by using the hardship as fertilizer. The speaker points out that if you have to suffer anyway, which, let's face it, we all inevitably do, why not use that suffering to build spiritual muscles? Use those heavy winds to force your roots to dig even deeper. Adversity is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to develop you. Moving into our final section, Section 5, choose to bear fruit and be humble. Let's take a look at what true growth looks like when the seed finally reaches its peak. Notice the profound difference between genuine growth and pure arrogance. Think of a weed. A weed stands perfectly tall, rigid, and proud, but it bears absolutely no fruit. Now look at a stalk of wheat. As it matures and gets full of grain, it physically bows down under the heavy weight of its own fruit. The speaker uses this incredible natural phenomenon to prove such a powerful point. True growth and true productivity always result in deep humility. The more fruit you bear in your life, the more you should be willing to bow down. So how do we actually pull this off? The source gives us some super actionable steps, even when we're living in a totally chaotic world. First, just do one small act of kindness, like helping feed some kids or checking in on a neighbor. Second, do not let other people's anger become yours. If someone's being toxic, let that be their problem, not your personality. Third, actively choose peace, even when everything around you is a total mess. And finally, be a prayer warrior, or just a solid source of positive energy, even if you are literally sick in bed. You can always bloom where you are planted, no matter your physical condition or whatever current struggles you're facing. To wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with this really provocative question to chew on. Is what you are going through right now painful? And how will you use it to bear fruit? Look, the adversity you're facing is real, and the pain is entirely valid. But I want to challenge you to look at your current pain not as a grave, but as the soil. It is the exact environment perfectly designed for your greatest growth. Take that dirt, plant your roots deep, and choose to grow. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible material, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.